might actually be like the most emotional part of this interview because, you know, people see some things and they think that, oh my God, you must have been so excited about the transitions because transitions might be difficult, but they can be exciting. This transition, transitioning from a dancer to a choreographer to a movement director, I ran.
Last night when we spoke, I was like, okay, how do I find my way back to this space that you are in at this moment? But yeah, it's good to have you here, and there's a lot for us to like talk about. And first, I must say I'm very, very proud of you.
Oh my God.
Very, very proud of you.
Thank you.
You are already like setting the standard for yourself, and you've been able to like create a platform that it's unique. It's unique. I don't know if you see it, but it's very unique. Like
It's me.
yeah, it's you. It's Elfrida. It's Elfrida. So yeah, first I would say I'm very, very proud of you, but I also want to like ask, how did we start? Like, let's go back. Let's go back to when I first met you, Dance Deal, right?
Wow, so you can remember the first time you met me?
Yes.
Oh my
That
God.
was the first
I
time.
feel like we just know each other. I don't know.
That was the first time. So let's go back. Like, how did it all start for you, and what would like process for you to the stage?
Okay, so first of all, it's really an honor to be here, and I'm so happy to be here, and I hope we have the most amazing time. Definitely.
I hope so too.
So I would say everything. A lot of dancers start from church, and you know that's my story. It's such a beautiful platform for you to harness your passion. You know, it's such a great avenue for you to be truly free with your art.
Yeah.
So I would say I started from there. If I say anything here and I don't start from where everything started from, it would make absolutely no sense. So church was a great platform for me, and that was where I started since I was young. I know everybody would say I've been dancing since I was in my mother's womb. Well, I started from church, and then so I'm just going to fast forward to starting a professional career and all that. I would say it started in dance deal. And then, you know, after church, you have to branch out into the industry and get to know people, network and everything. And then, most importantly, I don't play with education. So before I even thought about dance deal, if I knew that I wanted to go ahead and make something out of this, the very first thing that came to me was education. How? Because if you don't have knowledge, it's a serious problem. Knowledge is power. Because so many people can do what you're doing. So what is going to make you different? You having the right armor to go into war, in quotes. So I knew that I needed to be educated. I needed to know all the technological know-hows. And what's the best place for that? School, discipline. And I was so excited to actually know that we have dance schools in Nigeria. So many people don't know that we have dance schools in Nigeria. And it was just so exciting to know that there's an avenue to actually be focused and learn, you know, properly. And I was so excited. It was such a confusing state in my life because I was supposed to enter the university.
Okay.
And I was like, do I do this? Do I do this? But I know if I enter the university, there will be no time for any dancing. So right now I'm studying accounting. So I did dance school first. I said, I'm going to do this and get all my knowledge. So I'll say dance started in going to getting the right education and finding dance deal, you know, and that's just a great opportunity. Learn, then you can now plot. Because when you have knowledge, you're powerful. Yeah, so that's where it all started.
And what was that point in time that made you realize that, okay, yes, you actually wanted to dance? Like,
Oh, well, I won't say it's one time. I would say it's a combination of intense feelings. And what do I mean by that? Dance makes me feel powerful. I feel like I'm walking on water when I'm dancing. I feel like when I'm dancing, I'm a star. I
of
feel
course, you
like
are a star.
I am a star, exactly. So, you know how people are walking on the road, like, don't take this out of context, but when I'm dancing, it feels like as if I'm not walking on the road. I'm walking
I'm
on
better
top of
than
the
you.
stage. Yeah, like,
Yeah.
yeah, so that makes me feel very powerful. So I'll say a combination of different feelings. So it's, I won't say, oh, there was one time I danced and my life changed. No, for me, I feel like my life changed through a process of feeling very powerful.
Yeah.
So it's a build-up of emotions that improved my mental health over time, exceptionally. So going through that, living, so it's almost as if um, every single day I wake up with more power than the day I slept before.
After the dance school, you decided to go into university. What school was that?
University of Lagos.
University. You know why I'm laughing?
Why?
Because I think I have some friends there
Okay.
who are like always complaining how they are running mad
Oh,
with the whole stress and everything. So how are you able to balance your career now? Because now you are into dance like professionally.
yes,
Like how
yes.
are you able to balance school and your career at the same time?
To be very honest, I feel like if I don't say discipline, then what do I say? You know, things don't come easy. Good things don't come easy. Discipline is extremely important. Now, I'm not going to be fake and tell you, oh my God, I read my book every single day of my life. No, 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 no. That would be too exhausting. Because at the same time, we must admit that it is a lot. So, two things have helped me. Number one is discipline. When it's time to read, it's time to read. DND, no distractions. And when it's time to work, it's time to work. So once you can program that into your brain, things will work easier. Then two, time management. You're not timely, you have it very hot. Because you don't even know. Do you know that you should know, like, if you're in school, you should know how much time it takes to accomplish different subjects.
Yeah.
So that you can properly plan what you want to achieve. And then something that I would say is very major, aside these qualities, is number one, I would really advise everyone to go to school and learn something that you like. It makes it easy. I love accounting. I love accounting so much that when I was in secondary school, I used to gist accounting. You know the way you talk about relationship or State.
Okay.
I love money.
I get the point.
I love accounting, so it's easy. Nobody said, "Oh, you must go and read this." It's easier to do things you like. I'm that one person that you never catch me doing something I don't like. I don't like. If I'm doing something, I love it. So it's easier to do the things you love because when you're frustrated, when you're tired, when Unilag is choking you and work is choking you, you remember that, oh, this gives me joy, so I won't give up. So I'll wake up the next day and I'll keep trying again till I achieve what I want. Why? Because nobody's forcing me. It's my life. I like what I'm doing. So I'm interested and I'm invested in doing what I love. So that makes it easier. If you're studying a course you don't like.
Honestly, I think a lot of young people are
Yeah.
forced to just go into school just immediately after secondary school, and it makes them just like it makes them roam about, not knowing what
It
they
does
want to
work for some people,
Yeah.
but I mean, it's so easy for you to make a mistake.
Yeah, very easy, and it's also good that you were able to like make those decisions for yourself.
Yes,
Like
yes.
immediately you know that, okay, I want to do
That's
this.
true.
This is what I want to do. And I'm sure your family played a major role in that.
Yes, definitely. I must say they are amazing. They are amazing. But I'm not going to come here and tell you that, oh, if you have a supportive family, that makes life so easy for you completely. It does help, but you have to, if someone wants to invest in you, you have to give them a reason to.
Yeah.
So you can't say, oh, my dad supports me, my mom supports me, everybody supports me, and your grades are trash. No, you're not. Yeah, you're. What you're doing is, when they see children of their friends, it's a thing of don't allow your daughter to dance. So my own daughter, they won't tell you that.
Yeah.
But you're not giving people a reason to believe in dance. So let people look at your life and be encouraged, because your representation, whether you like it or not, if you combine both and you do it well, that is a positive influence on your little environment, and that's how it spreads out. So if you have that support, don't take it for granted. I don't joke with anything academics. I don't play with my books, because you know one thing I hate? I hate it when someone says, oh, you're dumb because you spend all your time dancing. Or you're not smart. Or your grades are not good because you're dancing. Somebody might be dancing and their grades are not good because they don't like that topic. So it's not dance, leave dance alone. So I really hate it when people blame dance for things not working out the way they should. So I make that extra effort to make sure that everything is aligned, so that you say, oh yes, my daughter is doing it, it works. If you're serious about it, it can work. So don't take the support for granted. I spent a lot of time building that trust. Because I mean, my parents have, each of them individually, have more than 10 years of banking experience. So you can't play with them. If they will, as supportive as they are, if they see that you're not pulling your weight, it's over. You're not, yes.
Stop the investment.
Exactly. So you have to show them why this works, why this is a thing, and this is serious business. So that's it.
And you've taken that serious business into your dance career.
I'm telling you.
No, it's so nice, because the approach, the branding, the standards, like you said when we had our conversation of how you are very intentional about the standard that you're bringing into working with your clients, into working with even your fellow artists, and everything. It makes me happy that, yes, someone young is really thinking, is really thinking, and it's inspiring. And I can say that's what has brought all of this so success to you. Like, you've worked with a lot of like renowned Afrobeat stars, top directors in the music industry, even casted for commercials and all. There was a time I saw on your story that you were like, I think it was when you casted for the commercial for MTN, and you were like, years back or so, you came in as a dancer, and now you're casting and choreographing, and then you said something about it's not been so long, it started, something like that.
Yes.
And I'm like, actually, like, when did she
If you
start?
really think about it.
When did she start?
Oh my God.
So I'd like to know, what was that feeling when you realized that thing for yourself? Like, when you started, like, how did it all start for you? Like, how did you get here? What was that feeling for you when you wrote that post and when you realized this?
Okay, so this is so funny. I didn't realize these things when it was happening.
Definitely.
It was at all.
Definitely.
I had no clue. And you know the funniest part about this? It happened 3 times. It happened for Budweiser. I actually came as a dancer, and before you know it, I was a choreographer. And it happened for Big Brother. I came in as a dancer, and before you know it, I was a choreographer. And it also happened for MTN. And it's like when I go through my posts and I'm like, okay, wait, you're missing something. And the funny thing is that it's not always like exactly the same gig. It's just the same brand, because the same brand can have different gigs for different events. So it shocked me because I was like, oh wow, you're actually missing out your process and the impact that you have made. And that's why it's very important to track your progress. Very important. Watch yourself. Watch yourself on music videos. Watch yourself on live shows. Watch your dancing. Watch your career. You should be your own cheerleader. You should be your number one cheerleader. Watch yourself. Know yourself better than anybody, so that before people even hype you, you're hyping yourself. My friend will always tell me that thing. I am number one at giving myself my flowers, and that just breeds confidence because I know who I am. I'm not even waiting for you to tell me, oh, you're doing a great. I know that I'm doing a great job because it's important, because it fuels my desire to do more. So when I realized that, it was when I was going through my post and I realized that, oh wow, this and this and this and this and this happened. And I'll say, you asked me how I got here. And I'll tell you passion. Don't lose your passion. It's so easy for you to lose your passion. Now, let me explain what passion means in my context. I'm not saying, passion for dance in general. You understand what I'm saying? That is amazing. Anybody can have that. But you see, passion to take every single opportunity that you are given as your last opportunity, it will help you. So when you're doing that gig, do it like that's your last. Do it like, don't say, it's not my job, oh. I'm not the choreographer, so why do I have? No. Put in that work. And before you know it, everything is moving along. And you're like, wow, okay, what's happening? So I didn't know when it happened to me because I was too busy focusing on that quality. There was a time I went on one of the shows, my entire costume was ripped at the back. But I said I must be on stage. So you know what happened? You know office pin, these tiny ones that choke you, not safety pin, no. That's what they used to close my costume. And I went to say, it was poking me throughout the performance. But I said, no, this is my job. And I'm going to do my job.
And you did it?
Yes. And the next time I came, I was a choreographer. So what if I gave up and said, there's no costume for me? Do you know how many times I've had to deal with not having costume? So when there's a way, there's a way. So I would say, if you want to shock yourself, take every opportunity. Don't say, this is a small gig. How many people are there self? You don't know who might change your life, you know. So take every opportunity. Do it with your heart. Don't take it for granted.
So I'm curious to know, like, the transition for you. You know, you say you started most of the jobs you got. You know, you started like a dancer first and all, and next thing you're coming in as a director or choreographer. You know, these are two different experiences. You know, being a dancer is different from you being a choreographer or a director.
Yeah, a movement
At that moment, you already have some certain responsibilities that you need to
Yes.
cater for. You need to look out for your dancers, you need to look out for your clients, you need to look at certain things that are very, very important. So, what were the challenges for you then when you had this transition? When this transition came to you, I'll put it that way.
Okay.
What were the challenges like for you?
This might actually be like the most emotional part of this interview, because you know, people see some things and they think that, oh my God, you must have been so excited about the transitions, because transitions might be difficult, but they can be exciting. This transition, transitioning from a dancer to a choreographer to a movement director, I ran.
You ran away.
I ran. There's no way I didn't run. I thought that if I run as far as I could run, maybe you won't come and meet me. But I was running towards it. I didn't even know I was running towards it because, I don't know why, but when I started, I was so comfortable with just doing my thing and, because I was an introvert. I'm not trying to even lead you people. Do you get? So I ran away from it. But when you have a gift, you have to use it. It's like one of the commandments. It's very important. You have to use that gift that God has given to you. You have to harness your skills so that you can inspire someone and you can inspire yourself too, because that's important. So it was very difficult because I just wanted to be, that's so weird. But yeah, almost like I wanted to be regular, not because I'm not a star, but because of the intense responsibilities that come with it. And I don't like to do things anyhow. If I'm going to do something, I have to do it very well. So if I'm going to be a choreographer, I have to choreograph very, very well. If I'm going to be a movement director, I have to do that very well. So, but I was already dancing and I was doing that well, do you get? And I was improving. So, having to do a totally different niche or like field and also do it very well and not disappoint myself and be able to beat my chest and say that I have done this well was something that I wasn't comfortable with because I was going to have to leave my comfort zone. And it was like, me choreograph. I kept getting opportunities like that, and I would run, but like one came and it was like, this is what you're doing, and blah, 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 and it's only you. You understand? And you're like, are you for real? Really? You guys don't want to pick anybody else? And it's like, okay, it is obvious that this is where you are meant to be. So you're going to have to climb that step no matter how high it is. And that was exactly what I did. And the first thing I did was pray. Because to be very honest, we act like we know what we're doing all the time, but trust me, there are some times that we don't. And we're learning on the spot. But the thing is, do you research? Not learn on the spot and you're winging it. No. That's why movement direction exists. You have to know what is required of you. You can't guess. You can't, when I get there, I'll know what to, You have to know what you're doing. Do you understand? So I'd say it was very difficult. And it has been really, really amazing. It has been a bundle of learning and relearning because it's about service, most importantly. It's not just about being in authority. It's about serving and making an impact because you are in a position for you to change some things, for you to be, because when you were a dancer, there might have been some things you might not have liked, but now you're in a position of authority. So you have to change so that when the next dancer comes, you can say, oh, things are better now. Before, it's your responsibility whether you like it or not. So that's part of the things I was running away from. So very difficult transition. It wasn't easy. In fact, I feel like I ran away from movement direction too. But the truth is, I became a movement director because I was able to movement direct myself completely and totally transform my career. If you know me before, I'm always smiling when I'm dancing. I can smile for 2 hours, whether it's traditional dance or sexy or hip hop, or I'm just laughing throughout. And so many routines don't require that. Because how do you transit emotions and feelings if your face can't do that, if your body can't do that? So I looked at myself one day and I was like, no, you're not doing enough. All the videos you've watched, all the stars you've seen, these attributes can be found in them, but you're not doing that. It's not enough for your body. Your face is part of your body. Every single part of your body has to be in tune with whatever message you're passing. And I did that for myself, and I was like, oh, wow, yes, I can do this for other people too. And that was it.
Interesting. I love the unique perspective you hold towards your craft and how you understand certain things of what you're to do and what you shouldn't, and how you've been able to like understand certain things about yourself, the industry you are operating in, and life in general. Which drives me to this question of, could you like describe a time or a time in your life or on a project that was very transformative for you personally or professionally?
Okay. So I've had a lot of beautiful memories, but I think one of my most beautiful memory was
That's my
yeah, because I'm visualizing it.
that's my
Was actually when one of my artists had a concert, and it was so beautiful. You know why? So for me, you know, I feel like advice or like things that people say are a result of their perspective. So before you shut down someone's opinion, make sure that you know where the person is coming from or what their reality is. So a lot of people might tell you, oh, that's the day that Michael Jackson gave me a prize or whatever. But for me, I really cherish the little things. So the most amazing thing about that concert was the fact that throughout the entire process, no one asked me any question
really
about anything. Imagine a concert where nobody's communicating to you on this is when dancers are going on, this is what you're doing, where are you, what you want. Nothing. The only thing that I was asked about in that concert was, what are you guys going to eat? What are you guys going to eat? Anything that wasn't food, because obviously I'm not getting food, but anything that wasn't food, they didn't ask me any question. And that's like a normality. Do you know why they're not asking me questions? Because you know that if it's Elfrida, leave it, she'll handle everything. This one, she's always on her again, she's sharp. So, no, so it was shocking that it was time to go up. Nobody was even telling me, oh, dancers are going up. They left everything concerning. And the funny thing is, you might be quick to say that, oh, maybe that's how they are. No, every other person involved in that production was being, in quotes, told what to do. Oh, this is where you're going. This is where. But for me, it was like the dancers were just like royalty. You know that, don't disturb the dancers. Don't worry, they are covered. Don't engage them. They know what they are doing. So that was a very fulfilling moment for me as a choreographer. For you to be able to book me and not have to worry about anything, because I will be meticulous from A to Z. Now, I'm not perfect, but the most important thing to take from this is that I will give you my best. So I feel like that was a really shocking moment for me. Not even a single question. In fact, I was even the one updating them. Okay, this is what is happening now. They didn't even want to know because Elfrida, leave it. So that was very, very, made me very happy.
have you experienced it elsewhere aside from like your own gig?
Well, not really. Maybe just once or twice, and I can't remember. But it's not something that is common. Like everybody just lets you do your thing. It's always as if there's this little triple or double check, like, oh, these dancers, oh, better check what they are doing, you know, before they will fall your hand, you understand? But, you know, just being able to, oh, they know their job, leave them to it. That's nice for someone to be able to trust in you. Amazing.
And I think that narrative you just said, that idea of, oh, it's dancers, you know, like,
Exactly.
I think I'm tired of that.
I'm
I
sick
think
of it.
I'm sick and tired of
sick of it.
hearing that, like, oh, my dancer, you know, me will try, that I know, make them know. And for me, it started to seem like we don't know what we are doing. And I don't know where we all got it wrong. I don't know. Like,
it's crazy. That thing can be so annoying. It's like, do you know how hard? Do you think it's easy to exert physical energy every day of my life? Like, I'm here doing the most. And then you think that, you know, and, you know, that's what this interview is about. That's what everything that we are doing is about. It's about changing this narrative in the capacity that we can. You know, don't see dancers and think they are not efficient or they are not effective. You know, because that narrative just doesn't make any sense to me, and I define my world. So if I say it makes no sense, then I don't care what your opinion is. I will change that opinion. After you have an experience with me, in your head, that's not going to be your reality anymore. Your reality is going to be that they are trustworthy, they offer good quality, and they are in charge, and they are professionals.
And the artists you've been working with, have they been able to like contribute to this standard that you're trying to build?
Yes, yes, yes. To be very honest, I feel like I am really thankful to be able to find individuals that share my vision. That's very important. I feel like in as much as we know that everybody might not be doing their best, there are some people that you can trust. And that gives me joy. Before I saw I search. Oh my God. But I think that also, this is funny, but I think that people work differently. I don't think that people, so because some people don't view this as a professional environment, which is very funny to me, people work differently. They can go to, let me use different planets as examples. They can go to Mercury and work a certain way, and then go to Venus, and you'll be wondering if it's the same person. And you know, it's like, it's looking like how women are. So what you give is what you receive. So it's more like, you know, what you give her is what she's gonna bring out. So it's kind of like that with human beings. Like where you reap is where you sow. Do you understand? So if you create a safe environment for people to act responsibly, you might be able to get really amazing results. You might say, oh, how come this person comes late when they work with this person? But this person is punctual with this person. It's because this is what you want. Like I said, I define my world. This is how it works in your own reality, your own world. So people that come there that are willing to adjust and are willing to be their best versions, adjust. And you see somebody that you didn't think would ever come in early, being on time. But if you don't create that environment, you understand, because this person feels like this is what I want to do and this is what I'm used to. So yeah. And also creating a safe environment, like I said, being in authority is really about service, not necessarily, oh yes, I'm in charge. Because if I come early, is there going to be breakfast? Yeah. If I'm going to leave my house by 5 a.m., 6 a.m. to make sure I'm on time at work, is there going to be the proper things that should be in place that makes me feel like as I'm looking out for you and doing my job, you are also doing your job and looking out for me? Am I going to get there and not see anybody? Because there are times like that. You get there on time and nobody is there. You're the last to come and you're in charge. Why? I mean, there are situations that do call for that. But I mean, so like I said, creating a safe environment for people to be the best versions of themselves. Because it's not just about criticizing and saying, oh, this person is this person is that. Create a comfortable environment and you see people adjust.
What's the definition of safe?
Okay, so a place where do dancers feel, when I mean safe, as you're working as a choreographer or you're in charge of a project, do people working with you feel like they can trust you? Can they trust you financially? I'm going to say that again. Can they trust you financially? Can they trust you with their job? Can they trust you with their safety in their place of work? Is there first aid? Because, like I said, we are using our bodies. So at your event, at your work, is there first aid? Or is it that after I do this stunt and come there, if I break my leg, I'm on my own? Do you understand? You know, things like that. my health, am I safe? Is there welfare, proper welfare? Is there food on set? Because body no be firewood. Do you understand? Is there water? You're dancing 5 hours, 6 hours, 7 hours, no water. You know, things like this. They're your responsibilities, not just about choreographed. Oh my God. I feel like I'm going to get into trouble. But you know, like, really, if you create an environment where people feel like, this choreographer, we are good. Anything she says, we there for you. Because you've made them. And funny enough, shout out to a lot of people that have made me feel safe. Because I learned from them. I've worked with certain choreographers that service was excellent, even to me. I felt there's some people you work with them and they are very timely with payments. It means that they are committed. And they are also very timely with what they want. They are not confused. It's not today, this is tomorrow. They are clear. There's clarity, do you understand? And financially, there's clarity. You know what and what is involved. You know full details. So that's creating an environment for people to trust you and give you their best. Because somebody doesn't trust you, they're going to give you, let it not be as if. They'll be gauging. Exactly. Yes. So creating an environment that dancers feel loved, that's like emotional and extreme. But yeah.
So I'd like us to talk about your relationship with Ayra Star.
Okay.
I would say yeah, it's business, it's work, but there's this connection I see on stage when it's you and her. It feels like it's like sisters performing. Like how were you able to build that connection with your artist?
Oh my God. Well, I'm just going to be honest. It's the power of synchronization and the power of movement direction and the power of having a similar vision. You know, it's not enough for you to say, oh, this is what I want the dance to look like. So now, the terms I'm using are very important to understand this. This is how I want, it's not enough for you to say, this is how I want the dance to look like.
Yeah.
It's important for you to know how you want the dance to feel like. So this move I'm doing, what is the texture? What's the importance of this move? What does this move mean? You know, for example, something as simple as just winding your waist. Are you going to wind your waist like you're the sexiest person to ever exist on planet Earth? Or you're going to wind your waist like, let me just do my dance and go, you know? So I think that's something that really helps me achieve synchronization because there are so many ways to do one move. There are so many ways to express. So you have to be really specific with what you want in terms of movement. Oh, do I want this fluid? Do I want it sharp? What do I want? Because one move can be fluid, it can be sharp, it can be hard, it can be precise, it can be a lot of things. So you're not defining them or knowing what each move should feel like or having a general vision of what you want a particular choreography to look like. You know, you're not really going to get that sync. So I feel like that's very, very important. Synchronization, cleaning, understanding people's body types and how can I merge different body types to look exactly as one. There was a time I was choreographing and I booked a dancer that was so fluid, beautiful. But the problem is other people are not as fluid as her. So we have to come to that same level to make sure that everybody looks exactly alike. Because I might want it to be fluid, but I might not want it to be as fluid as you're doing it. Yeah. So you have to adjust. That's why we're professionals. You have to adjust to make sure that everything is seamless and on the same level. So you can't do you want the leg work to be giving vibes? Or you want it to be giving energy? So that's important because Me, I'm a dancer. I might think it's vibes you want. I do my vibes. And another person is doing serious. We can never look alike. So that's how I achieve that. I tell you, I don't just teach you the choreography. I tell you what I want from the choreography, the kind of emotions, how I want people to feel watching you. And you know, we just connect and it's amazing. So
Oh, how did you feel when you realized that you're going to be like the director and choreographer?
well, it was exciting. It was tough. It was not easy. It was not easy, you know.
When did you realize, or when did this news come to you that you're
Oh,
gonna?
so it came to me before you guys saw everything.
Oh, you have been in the secret chamber.
You know, we were low key, you know, working. You know, that's why I said you have to prepare for battle. You know, like Ayra would say, if you're not afraid to make mistakes, then you're not going to be dangerous. You know. So we had to plot and plan and everything, and then we were working and working and working and working. Yeah, and when we were ready.
So you've been working with her before she was launched?
Yes, exactly.
Oh.
So that just goes to show that you have to prepare. It's not enough for you to say, oh, I want to look like Beyonce in 2 days. It's not gonna be possible. People that are rehearsing for plus 8 hours or 8 hours plus, you have to be prepared. I really like things that are neat. I don't like tacky stuff. I don't like things that are not done properly. I'd rather do it well. But the best way to answer this question is, I mean, my job as a movement director. And I know a lot of people might be confused. Movement direction is the embodiment of a character through physicality or expression. So let me explain very simply.
Yeah.
It is just really knowing what to do to be able to pass the message of a project or an event or whatever it is that you're doing as a star in relation to an actress, a musician, a singer, a dancer, a model, anyone, knowing exactly what to do to pass the message that you're trying to pass through that project with your movements and with your facial expressions, with your power, because your body is an armor. Do you understand that you're supposed to use? You understand? So I think that movement direction is very important for artists. And when I mean artists, I mean everyone in the creative industry. Because guess what? Even me that is a movement director, I can't be movement directed because I can't see myself.
Yeah.
But someone that can see you can tell you the most perfect way to do something. It's the same right hand, but if I do like this, it can be giving Beyonce. If I do like this, it can mean I'm shy. See how similar those movements are, but they mean something and they pass a message. So I feel like the best way to really just, and I have an unpopular opinion. I feel like my artist is the focal point of a performance. That means that everything should be connected. So I really believe in having that connection. And it's not just, it doesn't just translate to just artists and then dancers on stage. It translates to band, the drummer, the guitarists. Every single person that's on that stage should understand what is happening. And everyone should be in sync. And that's how you achieve a performance. Because that's what a performance is. It's not you in Jamaica, you in Mexico. It's everybody really just coming together. Rehearsals are very important. We all know that. But you see those little details that you tend to miss out. You see hair, costume, makeup, you know. These things go far in passing a message, you know. Just being intentional. Don't, we go kill them now, we go run them. No. What are we going to do? How do we create an experience for our audience? And that's what I'm all about. You know one thing I hate? I hate it when an artist is dancing and it looks like they are lost in the piece. No. You are the main character. Everybody is a main character in their own world. Don't misunderstand me. But you're the artist. I need to feel, I need to see, I know the artist hardly ever wears the same thing with the dancers, but I want to imagine you're wearing the exact same thing with the dancers, and I know you're the artist because of how you're carrying everything, because of how much your star quality is shining. And that's one thing that's very important to me. You know, it's your music video, it's your set, it's your concert. Enjoy. And also the other people that are part of making that look beautiful should rule in their own worlds. And that's how everybody is the best version of themselves. And you have a great time on stage. So that's really just what it is.
Interesting. Can you recall a moment where you had to like push the boundaries in your artistic expression or choreography?
Yeah, Lord.
Can you share one of those moments for me?
Oh my God. Okay, which one do I pick? Because there are so many. Okay, so I think there was a time that I was trying to establish a connection between a model and an artist. And usually that's normal.
Yeah.
It's not supposed to stress me out as a movement director, but I think the issue was I just wasn't feeling the vibe. Maybe because of the height difference.
Yeah.
You understand? So there was a serious height difference between the two people. So I really had to put myself in their shoes to be able to visualize how to make these two people really look like they are in love with each other, you know. And that was tasking for me. And then another thing I'll say is like a major thing. I've had that one in so many different ways. Is you having to come out of your major to choreograph something. You having to you've gone to dance school, you've learned different styles of dance, but you know there's always one that you fall in love with that you feel like is your major. So you having to choreograph when it's not your major because you have to represent that community well. You understand? You have to make sure that the details, the techniques are right and they look good. You understand? So that's something that is quite challenging because you have to do your research. No. You can't just step in there and, oh, I'm a good dancer. No. You have to get your facts right so that you can, you know, give quality work. So that's one challenge. Oh my God. Or choreograph this and, you know, it's not your style and you have to research, you have to, you know, sit down and draft everything because I love to write a lot too. I write choreography. I write, one of the things I love writing in dance is formation change. Oh, my little dots and figures. Because I feel like you can really just see everything and it gives you that creative freedom to plan everything out before you execute.
Yeah.
So that way you're not confused. So it's not easy. It's not easy, you know, because dance is so broad. Dance is so broad. So you know, you just having to, and sometimes you have to call experts of that dance style to help you, you know. So just having to choreograph something that is not your style, that's not easy.
How would you define your style?
Okay. So you see this question? Very hard. But yeah, I would say my major is Waacking. So if my major is Waacking, it means I'm fierce, I'm beautiful.
Do that again.
I'm fierce, I'm powerful, you know? Yeah, so I'm a star. So that's what my style is about. But then I'd say I also love to do, you know, anything involved with burlesque, anything that is sexy, anything that's very fluid, anything, you know, stuff like belly dancing, Waacking, burlesque, you know, things that are just very smooth. You know that kind of dance that it looks like as if your bones are not even.
Yeah.
are not even working. Yeah, you know, I love styles like that. And you know why I don't particularly have a name for this other session? I was speaking with my mentor one time, and you know, he told me someone wakes up and says, oh, this is the name of this. Another person wakes up and says, this is the name of this, without backing any of them with facts. So there's confusion. So why don't you just say your style is a combination of different things you're inspired by? Instead of giving it one name that you don't even know if someone in Asia is using that same, you know? Because, you know, really pioneering something comes with a lot of responsibility, research, and, you know, you have to do it right. Because that is going to be documented and it has to be correct.
So, how would you describe your journey as a woman in this industry? Why are you
Me
laughing?
and this my smile. Oh my God, it is not easy. I mean, you don't have to want to sleep with me. Just give me a job, you know. I said it. You know, it's not easy because a lot of people have ulterior motives, you know. They want other things that are not beneficial to your career. But instead of dwelling on problems, I'm just going to dwell on solutions because I feel like that's more important. So, to navigate properly, your identity is very important. You have to know who you are and really just stand on your selling point, know it and use it. Do you understand? So if your selling point is that you're tall, use that. If your selling point is that you're curvy, use that. You understand? If your selling point is that you're very beautiful, you know, use that. So know what exactly is unique to you and then just use that and ignore all the negativity, because when you know who you are, you can create a world and stand by your values, stand for what you believe in, and every other thing that doesn't work in line with those values, throw it out. And you have to be strong. You have to learn how to put your feet down and get what you want, because a lot of people will try to convince you on why you sound like a crazy person, you know, but tell them, okay, this is my world and this is how it works here. You know, compromise is very important, but there are sometimes that you know that the right thing to do is just to stand by what you believe in, and that's very important. So I'm not encouraging anyone to stand for anything negative, but you get, by all means, believe in yourself and stand for what you believe in. Don't allow anyone to um you know, persuade you into doing things that you do not want to do. You know, there are different ways to get to the market. Abi, how did they say it? Make sure you
Many roads
use,
leads to the market.
exactly. Make sure you use the roads that there's no accident on the way. So, because you know that when you have an accident, you can never go back to exactly the way you were before. You might recover, but you're not the same person. So, yeah, there are always consequences for your actions.
I love how you answer your questions. You know your questions like all these ancient people.
Oh
You know, all these
my
our
God.
ancestors that before they say something, they'll first give you proverb. You know, stuff like that. Yeah, it's like I can see the impact it has, you know. Probably did you like stay more around people that are older than you?
Well, yes, all my friends are older than me. Oh my God.
That's it. So how do you envision the future of dance and its role in promoting diversity and inclusion?
This question is tough. I really envision a world where everyone is included, because I feel like people don't realize that entertainment, art, culture, that's really where you get to see that people are actually included. Because you know, anyone at home watching sees representation of the person that they are and then begins to believe in themselves. So I feel like we really have such a large role to play in making sure that every community, everyone feels involved in this journey, irrespective of your complexion, where you come from, your background, who you are, your beliefs, that everyone is appreciated and respected and recognized for the skills and talents that they have. And it's not a situation of, oh, I think you're like me, so I'm going to book you. No, I'm booking you because I think you're excellent. So I really envision a world where skill, dedication, tenacity, you know, hard work is appreciated. I really envision our future looking bright. I envision a future with so much respect for my craft. A future where dancers are respected because they've moved mountains, because they've created little revolutions here and there, which just build up a huge mountain.
Interesting. Have you ever felt left out before?
Of course, I'd say I feel left out in this manner, you know, because a lot of dancers are slim, you know, and that's why I said it's important to stand in your power, you understand? And then it's like, oh, we have to make bigger costumes for you because you know you are you're thick, you're curvy, you're sexy, you know, that kind of thing. So, you know, and it's like, why do I always have to go through this costume stress all the time? But I think that it's important that you're forgetting that you get booked for some jobs because you look like that. That's why I said know your selling point. Sometimes they want this category of people, and then sometimes they want other categories of people. So there's space for everybody. So if you focus on the negativity, like, oh, I'm this and I'm that, or I'm not like, you see that thing that you're running away from that makes you unique, that's where your power lies. That's where your power lies. That's your power. You have to find a way to capitalize on that thing and make it represent you in a positive line and change the game. That's it. That's exactly what I'm doing for myself. Yes. And it has been great. I don't even remember that I felt left out before, you know. I turned it around. I made it work for me. Because there will always be different kind of people everywhere. Paris Gobert is not slim. And it's working for her like crazy. Like, you would hardly ever see anyone use their hips so iconic. Like, Paris Gobert, you know, and it's just beautiful. It's art. So whatever you think is a problem, turn it around. Because it's a problem, there can be a solution to that problem that turns your life around. So it depends on how you see it. What's your mind saying? Your mentality is very important. Do you see it as a problem or you see it as an opportunity? So if you're feeling left out, find a way to turn whatever you think it is to an opportunity. But then sometimes you're feeling left out and you're the problem. So you better work on yourself too.
Well, how do you know when you are the problem? Because I think ego plays a major role.
Yes.
A lot of us want to or experience certain things, but we think our problem are the people, but our ego is kind of blocking us from seeing this thing. How do we identify those blockage, those things that might be personal but we think are external?
I think there might be a lot of confusion there. And that's why I said something about tracking progress. Always evaluate yourself. Always make sure that as you're self-confident, you're the boss, main character, but like you're not doing all the work behind, really. Chike, so tracking progress is extremely important. Evaluate yourself. It can be quarterly, it can be monthly, it can be, what am I doing right? What am I doing wrong? What are the things that need to change? Because there is no way that you do self-evaluation. And that's why I talked about watching yourself and tracking your progress. You will know, except you're lying to yourself. Because one of the best ways to deceive yourself is to deceive yourself by yourself. Because if you evaluate yourself, you do a project, you say, okay, what could I have done better, you know? And you just evaluate yourself and you see where the loopholes are. Because don't be too defensive. Don't be too, you're wrong and I'm right. No, listen. Because sometimes people that are older than you, they know better than you actually. The proverb that says, oh, what an old man can see. Yeah, they're actually right. They're actually right. So sometimes step back. You know, step back once in a while. Even when you think everything is crystal clear and perfect, step back and evaluate yourself and you see clearly what is right and what is wrong.
Who are your heroes? Because
oh my God.
I can't.
Please.
What's happening?
Please. My mom is my hero. Like, my mom is really amazing. She pushes me to be my best. Yeah.
Just your mom.
Well, I have so many other inspirations, you know, like I mentioned Paris Gobel earlier, yeah. But essentially, my mom, and she's my inspiration not just because she's my mom, but because in her field, she is exceptional. And she really, really, my mom is so pretty, prim, proper, composed, but when it's time to work, all those things disappear. Her attitude to work is 100. So yeah. Essentially, my mom is really amazing.
What advice do you have for aspiring dancers, choreographers, most especially the ladies out there? Like, what advice would you give them?
I would say this. I mean, I said so much today, so you can take so much from that. But most importantly, believe in your madness. Believe in yourself so much to the point that you're like, what's really going on, you know? And most importantly, Character. Character will take you far. Apart from grace, God, everything that inspires me, I'm here because of my character. Be kind to people. You know, respect yourself. Be the reason why someone thinks dancers are good. Yeah, be the reason why someone thinks a dancer is amazing character wise. So your character will take you places that your talent might not take you. Yeah.